All right, we are back for round two. These problems should look familiar, but we're going to take it to a different level right now, really. We're going to step it up, step our game up, step up the level of difficulty just a smidge. But I want to kind of review something really quickly. When we're dealing with these type of equations and solving equations, I kind of want to touch on one thing. We always look to distribute first. Okay, that's where we're going to go. Can I distribute, right? Can I do that? That's going to be my first step. And hey, you maybe have to distribute twice, okay? After that and all your distributing's done, it's like, hey, we're going to combine like terms. Okay, that's CLT. I'm going to put CLT from now because it's so much easier than me writing combine like terms. But that's where we got to go. That's where we got to be. And hopefully you're taking notes right now. Okay, now three, remember I put move, and what that means is like we're moving stuff. And technically when you move things, you're going to add or you're going to subtract. That's how you move things from one side to another or to eliminate them or anything like that. But what's going to happen today is you're going to see that on both sides of the equations, we've got going to have a bunch of stuff. And we may have like 8x over here, and we may have 3x on this side. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need, like, this is our equal sign. We're going to need to pick what side we want our variable on. Okay, it could be our variable could be a's, they could be x's, they could be k's. Like, it doesn't matter what the letter is, but we got to pick. We got to choose which side of the fence we're going to be on. And it doesn't really matter which side, but I have a strategy that I like to use, and I like to move the smaller variable. Whatever variable is smaller, I like to move that one. Okay, so in this case, 3x is smaller than 8x, so I would move 3x. I'd say, okay, it's a positive 3x, so I'm going to subtract 3x. And what would happen is that, hey, 8x minus 3x is 5x, right? And then we'd have all the variables over on the right-hand side, and life is looking good. Now, kids get confused sometimes because, like, let me show you something. I'm going to go back to where I just was and kind of revisit that concept. Imagine if we have variables on the both sides and we have negative 8x and we have 4x. And I tell the kids, okay, I'm saying, hey, we want to move the smaller variable. We want to move the smaller variable. And they think that 4 is smaller than negative 8 because 8's a bigger number, right? You got to remember, negative numbers are smaller than positive numbers, right? Here's our number line. If I have like the number 1 and 2 over here, and I have the number negative 4 over here, our smaller numbers are to the left, right? Like if you have negative $4, like you owe $4 compared to someone who has $2, like you have less money. That's smaller. So in this case, what would happen if I'm going to move the smaller variable? I'm going to move this guy. I'm going to say, hey, this is the smaller variable. So to get rid of my negative 8x, I'm going to add 8x, and I'm going to add 8x, right? And what we'd have is we'd have a 12x over here, and life would be good. Okay, so that's a little intro to what we're doing today, because it's going to get a little messy today. We're going to have to be really intentional with how we do things. So let's look at 21, and we're going to do 21 nice and slow. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to have you try 22 on your own. And we'll probably just do, I don't know how many questions we're going to get through today, but we're going to do some. So number one, we distribute. That's the first thing we always do. So let's go ahead over here and we'll say, hey, we're going to distribute this guy here and here. 8 times 4k is 32k. 8 times negative 4 is negative 32 equals negative 5k. I'm just rewriting this because there's nothing really for us to do. Minus 32. So we distributed. Okay, that was good. Check. Now we see, hey, can we combine like terms? Is there anything that we can combine? And when I say that, we're looking on the left. Can I combine anything on the left? Okay, I have k's and non-k's. So no, I can't do anything on the left. Can I do anything on the right? I have k's and non-k's. Well, I can't combine anything on the right either because there's no combined like terms to combine. So then we move. Right, and the first thing I like to do is move the variables because that kind of establishes what we're going to do moving forward. And I told you over here, we like to move the smaller variable. So negative 5 is a lot smaller than 32. So I'm going to move this guy and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to add 5k because I do the opposite, right? I'm going to add 5k. And that gets rid of this guy. And now I notice that all my k's are over here on the left side of the equal sign, which means that anything that's on the left side of the equal sign, I got to get over to the right. Okay, I got to get this guy out of here, the negative 32. So I'm going to add 32, which is the opposite. Add 32. That cancels. And that cancels. And technically, we have nothing over here. And how do I write nothing in math? Well, I write nothing in math as a 0. Okay, and 32k plus 5k is 37k. And remember, anytime we have a number stuck to our variable, we just divide by that number, and it cancels it out. So we have k equals 0 divided by 37. Well, what's 0 divided by 37? It's 0. Boom. Easy money. Easy money, right? But it's all about going slow, taking your time, being organized, right? And just thinking through our process over here on how we go through things. Okay, so let's kind of attack this one again. Distribute. I'm going to distribute first. Remember, this is a negative 8. So the negative 8 is going here. The negative 8 is going here. Do I have anything to distribute on the right? No, I don't. Okay, so let's go through this. Negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. And I have my x. Negative 8 times negative 6 is positive 48 equals, and I'm just going to rewrite this stuff over here, negative 6x minus 22. And I think what I'm finding out right now is if I slow down, my writing's better. Okay, so that's good for you kids. Now, we distributed. Can we combine like terms? X and non-x? Nope. X and non-x? Nope. Can't combine anything. Okay, so let's move. We're going to move stuff now. And I like to move my variable first, and let's look for the smaller variable. 64x, that's a big one. Negative 6x, that's a small. Let's move that one. I'm going to do the opposite, plus 6x, plus 6x. That guy's gone. And now all my variables are over here to the left, which means anything else I gotta get rid of. I gotta move them over. So a positive 48, I'm going to do the opposite, subtract 48. Okay, and let's see what we have going on here. 64x and 6x is 70x equals negative, if I owe 22 and I owe 48, that means I owe 70. 70 stuck to the x, divide 70, divide 70. That guy's gone, and it looks like I have x equals negative 70 divided by 70 is negative 1. Boom. Okay, so that's our lesson for today. I don't want to get too much crazier than that, which we can. I mean, we can get crazy up in here with some math and equations and stuff like that, but I don't want to get too crazy. So now I think it's time we just practice. I think practicing is everything for us right now. So why don't you do number 23 on your own, and go ahead and press pause. Take your time really working through 23 slowly. And if you get stuck or if you finish, press play and we'll go over it together, okay? Now this one is a little trickier. Not much, but a little bit. So we're going to distribute. Is there anywhere I can distribute? No. So let's go ahead and do that. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times positive 5x is positive 40x. Then we have this plus 5 after. So I'm just going to write, hey, plus 5 equals 13 plus 5x. And what's nice now is we distributed, but now we actually have the opportunity to combine like terms. I'm going to show you why. Look over here on the left. We've got 3 things. I can combine an 8 and I can combine a 5, which means this guy's going to drop down and just stay 40x. And 8 and 5 I think is plus 13 equals 13 plus 5x. The first thing I move is the variables, right? I move the variables and I move the what? The smaller variable. What's smaller, 40 or 5? 5, obviously. So I'm going to move this variable. Okay, he's gone. All my variables are over here on the left-hand side, which means anything on the left side of the equal sign, I got to get rid of. So positive 13, I'm going to subtract 13 to get rid of them. Okay, now what do we have? What's going on here? Well, it looks to me like we have on the left side 40x minus 5x. That's 35x. What do we have on the right side? 13 minus 13. That's 0. Okay, don't freak out when you get to this spot. Just chill. You're fine. Okay, 35 stuck to the x. I'm going to unstick him by dividing. And I have x equals whatever 0 divided by 35 is, which is 0. Boom. What do you think about that? Okay, pretty easy, right? I mean, for the most part, it's pretty easy. Okay, now over here, let's look at what we have going on over here. I want you to take a couple minutes, maybe 2 minutes of your own time. Okay, solve 24. When you're done, press play. We're going to go through it. Okay, this is so important because we're just practicing. We need this practice time. If you want to get an A in this class or a B, you've got to spend time going through this video with me and just practicing. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is distribute here and here. Okay, there's nothing we can do on the left, so we're just going to leave it. Negative 11 minus 5a equals, let's distribute 6 times 5a is 30a. Okay, 6 times positive 4 is what? Positive 24. Okay, now, can I combine like terms? Let's check. Anything on the left I can combine? No. Anything on the right? No. Okay, so we do what? We move stuff. And the first thing we like to move is a smaller variable. Well, negative 5a is smaller than 30a, so I'm going to do the opposite and add 5a. Cancel this guy out. Okay, all my variables are right here, which means that this guy's got to go. Okay, he's a positive 24, so I'm going to subtract 24 to get rid of him. And then I'm going to subtract 24 over here. And what you're going to see is, on the left-hand side, I have negative 35. And on the right-hand side, I have positive 35a. Let's unstick this 35 by dividing. Get rid of them. We have a equals whatever this is. A equals whatever negative 35 divided by positive 35 is. Well, it's a negative 1. Okay, so far so good, I think. Okay, I'll leave that there for a sec. And then what I'm going to do is bring this guy down because he has 2 problems for us to look at. Oh yeah, this one's crazy over here. I think, to be honest, I just want you to try 26. And the only thing about 26 that looks crazy is we have, so here's 26, you have a double distribute type of situation. You got to distribute here, distribute here, distribute here, distribute here. Don't forget that this is a negative. And then work what we work through. Remember, we distribute first, which I told you to do. Then you combine like terms after. Okay, and I think you're actually going to have some like terms to combine. Then you're going to move stuff. What do we move like first? Well, we like to move the smaller variable first. And then we got to move everything else. And then we kind of just work through it. Okay, so press pause, attack 26, then press play and we'll go over it. All right, here we go. 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times positive 6, I think it's positive 30, equals negative 4 times negative 5. Well, that's positive 20. Negative 4 times negative 2x, I think that's positive 8x. And then this guy's just hanging out after, so I'm just going to write positive 3x. Okay, I think I did that right. Okay, next, we distributed. check. Combine like terms. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, nothing here. Okay, over here I can definitely combine like terms because I have 8x and 3x. So I'm going to rewrite everything and just say, okay, 10x plus 30 equals, I've got my 20 here. And then what's 8x plus 3x? That's 11x, right? Positive 11x. Okay, we're doing good. We combine like terms. We're done with that. Now we got to move. We got to move the smaller variable first. Well, for me, we have 11x and 10x. Well, 10x is smaller than 11x. He's positive. Since he's positive, I'm going to subtract. Okay, if he was negative, I would add, because that's how you get rid of things. Okay, these are all my variables, which means everything else over on the right-hand side has got to go. Okay, it's a positive 20, so we're going to subtract 20. He's gone. 30 minus 20 is 10. And what's 11x minus 10x? Well, it's 1x. Okay, we got the 1 stuck there. So we're just left with x equals 10 divided by 1, which means x equals 10. Okay, beautiful. That is our lesson. Okay, what's going to happen, I think, because this is our Tuesday, Wednesday lesson. Thursday, we're going to record one more. We'll probably do like a little review at the beginning of the period. I'll release you kids to do the lesson, and then we'll have a little quiz at the end of the week. So I appreciate you kids. Hope things are going okay. Hang in there. Eventually, I'm going to get you in the classroom, and we're going to have some fun learning. Okay, have a good day, kiddos.